Well, like, you got a terrible show tonight. My topic tonight is called Arrogant and Awful in Austin. That's my topic tonight. But before I do, I'm gonna open up with music a little bit of something. I'm gonna open up with I'm gonna open up this match from Friday Night SmackDown, January 27, 2006, where Randy Orton, where Chris Benoit faced off against Randy Orton. Night before Royal Rumble 2006. So stick around, right back, and get it playing. I'll break it down with you in my review in a few minutes.
Effort by Chris Benoit, who went on to win the World Championship. Following contest is a no-holds-barred match. Scheduled for one fall to a finish. Making his way to the ring from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 234 pounds, the Rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit. And Chris Benoit would want nothing else except to win the Rumble match again this year and headline WrestleMania. Well, tonight, WWE SmackDown is being brought to you by When a Stranger Calls in theaters February 3rd. And by Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. I think Chris Benoit is in a zone, always. And from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 245 pounds, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. At a Royal Rumble press conference earlier this week in Miami, Taz, Randy Orton told a capacity crowd that he was going to win the Royal Rumble matchup because it is his destiny to do that. He's the youngest World Heavyweight Champion of all time. He has twice survived Survivor Series matches, and now he claims he will win the Rumble and headline WrestleMania. Well, that's a very brash statement by a very brash, young, world-class athlete, SmackDown superstar like Randy Orton. But I'll tell you what, this is a dangerous situation for both these men. I mean, we're 2 days away before the Royal Rumble. People risk injury here. I mean, both these guys don't go half speed either. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is a no-holds-barred matchup. There are no rules. Falls count anywhere. One fall to the finish. And Chris Benoit and Randy Orton, for that matter, would love to take each other out. Just take out another guy for the Rumble matchup. This is a brutal match. I mean, you take tremendous amount of physical brutality. And like I pointed out earlier, just a couple of days before the Royal Rumble, I mean, it can mess them up for the Rumble itself. So Chris Benoit, Randy Orton, no holds barred in this matchup. Both men in the Royal Rumble match come Sunday. The Royal Rumble is such an important event, Taz, because it really does kick off the road to WrestleMania. You debuted at the Royal Rumble a few years back here in WWE, and I tell you, your butterflies had to be there because it is indeed the road to WrestleMania. Absolutely. I mean, yeah, I wasn't in the Rumble match, but I knew it was a gigantic pay-per-view, as is this Sunday, as is this match. No holds barred right now. They're hooked up. Randy Orton back to the corner by Chris Benoit. Again, there are no rules, so you don't have to clean break here. Center of the ring, collar and elbow tie-up. Randy Orton tucks behind, and there's a reverse bear hug, reverse back waist lock there, and Chris Benoit trying to get an armbar or standing switch or something. Make no mistake about it, neither one of these athletes is going to take it easy in this matchup here tonight. No. Forget about worrying about getting hurt for the Rumble. That's what I was saying earlier. These two men don't know how to go half speed. They go 150% night after night. Now Benoit's got control with that top wrist lock on Randy Orton.
Randy Orton saying earlier tonight that he's going to cash in on the favor Booker T owes him sooner rather than later. Remember, Orton a few weeks ago became the first man in history to win a championship for another man, the United States Championship for an injured Booker T. And remember, he defeated Chris Benoit in doing so.
Now Orton's got that side headlock. In this match, I'll tell you, you're going to see a lot of nice holds. I guess we're looking at right now some, catch can, but watching this thing starts picking up. I'm telling you, this is a dangerous type match.
Both these men can get physical with anybody. Chris Benoit went for the hip toss, blocked by Orton. Clothesline. And Orton trying to block the German suplexes. Great move by Orton there to block those Germans.
Very good, because Chris Benoit's relentless. Chris Benoit kept gunning for that German.
Well, Randy Orton and Chris Benoit, no holds barred, is heating up when we return to Greenville next. We are back on Friday Night SmackDown. Chris Benoit, Randy Orton, no holds barred, one fall to the finish. Really been a stalemate thus far.
Yeah, it has, and we're seeing some nice stuff, some nice wrestling now. Randy Orton's got that side headlock, and Benoit's trying to get some rear control or rear mount. Gotta watch Benoit when he gets behind you, if he can. He'll peel off one of those German suplexes.
Yeah, look at Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit went for the armbar, and Randy Orton rolled out of it, realizing the cross face not far away.
Well, that's what he was doing. It looked like Benoit was getting ready to do the beginnings of that cross face.
Randy Orton realizing that, backed into the corner. These two athletes know each other so well. Met at SummerSlam a couple of years ago. Randy Orton winning the World Heavyweight Championship at the time.
Again, just to reiterate and bring it forward, I mean, just a dangerous situation. A no-holds-barred match. It's very rare you get to see this on TV. And, 2 days before the Royal Rumble match, a gigantic opportunity for both these men this Sunday. Both could risk injury here in this type of match.
Yeah, both of these men in the Royal Rumble matchup. 30 superstars, 15 from Raw, 15 from SmackDown.
And there's that chop into that chest as Booker T pulled Randy Orton's chest earlier. Your chest is like dog meat.
And while with a headbutt into the cover, here's shoulders down, kick out. That Royal Rumble matchup, Taz, really is every man for himself because a title opportunity at WrestleMania hangs in the balance.
And as we said earlier in that tag team match with the Mexicals and Lizzo Vito and the Dicks, and people get real selfish come this Sunday at the Royal Rumble. You don't care about your buddies. You want to win that thing yourself and go on to Mania.
Most exciting 60 minutes of sports entertainment. There's no rest for the weary, as Chris Benoit can attest to entering #1 a couple of years ago and being the last man standing. And look at Orton with a right hand. And Randy Orton with another right. Taking it to Chris Benoit. Trying to get an upper hand in a matchup that's been a stalemate. Thus far with an uppercut. Dropping Benoit out of the ring.
A huge uppercut forearm by Randy Orton into that chest and jaw of Chris Benoit. That was nasty. Watch out.
Look out, man. Randy Orton with Chris Benoit. Mounted him off the announce table.
That's all legal right there. No holds barred. Anything goes. You can do whatever you got to do.
Oh, wow. What a shot right out in front of us. You hear that? I heard it and I saw it. It blistered Randy Orton's skin. And out Benoit driven kidney first into the apron.
And again, here we go.
The cover falls from anywhere. Hook of the leg kick out at 2.
All legal. That's the thing. You can get caught at any time. See, Randy Orton worried about his chest. That thing is so raw and ripped up from matches he's had in the recent past with Benoit.
Those chops blister your skin. And look at Orton up to the apron, quickly back into the ring. Here's the cover again on Benoit, using the rope for leverage, which is perfectly legal. No holds barred, falls count anywhere, one fall to the finish.
That's what makes these matches so dangerous. No hold barred, anything goes. Now look, with this rear choke here, I'll tell you, I like Randy Orton's, I like the psychology in this match.
And I also like his chances Sunday in the Royal Rumble matchup. Randy Orton has been on an incredible roll the last year or so.
He has, but you cannot count out the rabid Wolverine, Chris Benoit. Benoit will come out of nowhere. We've fought some of the great matches that Benoit's had.
There's so many guys you can't count out. Taz, from Raw, how are you going to count out the game Triple H? How are you going to count out the 7-foot monster, the Big Show?
You know what, to be frank with you, I don't care about those guys. They're on Raw. That's great. They're tough. They're great competitors. I care about SmackDown in this match right now.
What a drop kick by Orton. Right on the button. And Randy Orton, what the hell is he doing? Randy Orton. the trash can lid.
Well, you know, this is all cool. You can go this route. It's just a matter of time before we saw something like this. And watch out! Watch out!
Right across the back. Benoit never saw Orton, could never brace himself for that blow. Typical Randy Orton style with a man's back turned, Orton attacked.
Look, it's no holds barred. You can't complain about that. I mean, Chris Benoit wouldn't be complaining, trust me.
Not complaining. He said it was typical Orton style. And Randy Orton now with the entire trash can. And Benoit with a front toe hold.
No doubt he's got no hold with that.
And I believe Orton's skull bounced off the trash can.
Can Benoit capitalize? Both these men.
Bounced off the steel steps.
That's legal. We told you this thing was not for the fifth part.
That will concuss you. Bouncing off those steel steps. And yet another chop.
You cannot explain to people sitting home watching this what that feels like when your chest is raw and ripped up.
Watch out! Oh! Randy Orton flying across the announce table.
Right out here, right out in front of where we were.
Chris Benoit suddenly on the attack. Oh, and another blistering chop. And another chop. Randy Orton's chest. A massive red. And then look at this. Orton raking the eyes. Orton stuck his thumb directly in the eye socket of Chris Benoit and raked the eyes to again gain the upper hand. And Benoit bounced off the announce table. Randy Orton used the thumb to the eye to gain control. It has the cover. Billy Hall and a kick out at two.
You see how high Benoit went in the air before his body crashed into this announce table. Holy God, man, that was nuts.
Randy Orton in control of Benoit in a matchup that had started out very technical and has now become extremely physical.
Our announce table is full of sweat from these men, and there's some blood right here on the table. If I get some Orton's chest.
Here's the cover again and a kick out. And Randy Orton again. That shin lock applied to Benoit, and Randy Orton really cinching it in
got
now.
that rear choke, and he's trying to just basically choke out Benoit if he can.
Randy Orton very aggressive, very vicious on the assault here in this matchup. Orton priming himself for a major run in that Royal Rumble matchup on Sunday.
Well, Chris Benoit is not in a good spot right now. Randy Orton has got Benoit right where he wants him.
This is what you were talking about. You can really injure somebody 2 days away from that Rumble match.
It's a dangerous match. I mean, it's not an overstatement. It's the truth. I'm telling you right now. And anything could go down in a no-holds-barred match. Anything.
You want to talk about dangerous match? We got blood on the announce table. Guys that had their skulls bounced off steel steps, bounced off the announce table, garbage cans and trash can lids, and now a steel chair being entered in the matchup.
What else do you expect? Benoit, you better look up, my man. Benoit doesn't know what's about to come to him. Holy smokes.
Missed with a big swing. Swinging for the fences was Orton. And now Benoit going for the sharpshooter. Middle of the ring. He's got to turn Orton on his belly.
And Orton's trying to fight it. Benoit's going to he might get the sharpshooter.
Oh, Benoit's got to turn Orton over on his belly. Orton with the right hand to the face. And we got Chris Benoit, the tenacious Robin Wolverine. And Orton kicks out.
Yeah, but Orton utilized that Benoit's face was right there. Here we go. And then we roll for a cover.
Knee driven to the sternum. Here's the cover. He might get it. Forearm to the face. Shoulders down. Kick out at two.
Wow. Is this some match or
Lost in some night on Friday Night SmackDown, just 2 days away from the Royal Rumble.
And now back there's got a rear naked choke. That's the whole enchilada right there. He's got the body scissors in, the legs in. He's got that rear choke. That's it.
Look at Benoit trying to create separation.
Well, what he's doing, he's trying to get a leg bar on Orton to try and break that rear choke, but Benoit's got to be careful. He don't get choked out here. That's some separation between Orton's forearm and your own throat.
You might not like his style, you might not like his attitude, but you got to be impressed with the way that Randy Orton's...
I like Randy Orton's style, Cole, and I'm impressed with it. And now he's got a front headlock on it. Not too many guys that can go hole for hole with Benoit, and Orton's doing pretty good.
Well, he's not called the Legend Killer for nothing. And look at Benoit. Nice suplex.
That's a Northern Lights release suplex. And my favorites right there. Beautifully executed by Chris Benoit.
Randy Orton rolling out of the ring, trying to catch a breather, but in this type of matchup, there is no breather. There is no timeout. Benoit continues the assault on Randy Orton. I tell you, physicality has really picked up to this point in the matchup.
Orton might be out like a light after going face first into the steel steps.
Suddenly, Benoit in complete control of this matchup. No holds barred.
There's no stopping Benoit wall except for that punch in the face. And another one.
Regaining momentum.
Oh!
And look at Orton with another right hand. And the legend killer stalking Chris Benoit.
Now Benoit back to that chest. Back to that raw meat of Randy Orton. How is Orton going to stop these chops?
This match has been seesaw since the get-go. Orton whipped across the ring. Benoit knocking Orton down. And you can feel, Taz, the momentum starting to shift here a little bit now. Chris Benoit starting to gain the upper hand.
Hey, we can feel it, but Benoit can't feel it.
Kick out at two.
He pointed it out. The momentum was shifting. Benoit knew it, and he still knows it. And that's why he's zoned in for the kill there. That's where Benoit's most dangerous. He knows when that window of opportunity opens up.
Snap suplex, and Chris Benoit playing homage to his late friend, Eddie Guerrero, going for the three amigos here. Those triple verticals.
Well, hey, it's a salute to the late, great Eddie Guerrero. Haha, man, that's cool. The three amigos.
How about Rey Mysterio earlier tonight dedicating the Rumble matchup to Eddie Guerrero? And look at Benoit.
More sign of respect to Eddie Guerrero there. And Orton's got to try and do something there because you got the Wolverine now on the prowl big time.
Randy Orton placed up on the top rope, and what's Chris Benoit going to do now?
Oh! Why not? Another chop.
Just listen.
Oh, wait, I don't even feel his chest at all.
How does that feel like?
It's brutal. It burns like hell. It burns like hell, and now
Randy Orton trying to battle out of the predicament he's in. And now the headbutt by the Rabid Wolverine. The vicious, the tenacious Chris Benoit using every part of his body in this matchup.
Orton almost fell right off that top turnbuckle. Oh, wait a minute. Benoit's going to help him. Top rope.
Oh, my.
Top rope superplex.
High risk superplex.
Tippy top rope.
Both men landing hard. Chris Benoit putting his body on the line in this no-holds-barred matchup.
God, that just sends a jolt through both men's spine, especially Orton got the brunt of it. But I mean, you look at that Benoit with a surgically repaired neck. He landed right on the back of his head there.
We told you these two athletes weren't going to mail it in, despite the fact they got the Rumble match in 2 nights, and they're not. Benoit and Orton putting it all on the line.
What kind of condition will both Randy Orton and Chris Benoit be in this Sunday? You know what I'm saying?
Great question. Referee Nick Patrick at a count of 3. This is no holds barred.
One man's got to get to a vertical base, or both. Whoever gets up first. Orton's still not moving.
And Chris Benoit back to his knees. Referee Nick Patrick continues the count. Benoit's to his feet. And look at this. Orton's got to get to his feet. He realizes that, and he does. And he gets to the rope, but it doesn't matter. And both men sent through the second rope.
Well, out of the crossface. That crossface, the beginnings of it was hooked on. Wait, which one do it now?
Randy Orton looking for another weapon, I'm sure. I don't think he's checking out at the ring stable.
No, he's definitely not doing that.
Randy Orton, trash can in hand. Randy Orton measuring his man.
I got a feeling it's going to be nasty, folks. Nasty! I hope he's all right. That was nasty.
Randy Orton rolling. Can Benoit get back in the game when we return to SmackDown? No holds barred. 1 fall to the finish. Welcome back to Friday Night SmackDown. Randy Orton in control of Chris Benoit because of what happened before the commercial break.
Look at this. Let's look at this. Oh my God! Orton took that trash can and just wrapped it around the skull. Look at this angle here. Look at it. Oh my God!
And Chris Benoit has not been the same since. Randy Orton has continued to put the pressure on Benoit.
Look at that. Look at that. The trash can is split in half, for God's sakes.
Both of these men in the Royal Rumble match Sunday in Miami, Florida. Chris Benoit trying to get back into this matchup tonight.
It's a small miracle. Benoit's skull is now split in half. And look at Benoit. He's starting to fight back.
Oh, and a thumb to the eye again by Randy Orton.
Now watch out, it's legal though, too.
Oh, and that backbreaker, almost a neck breaker.
It's no holds barred, Cole. You can poke in the eye, do any neck breakers you want. Oh, use any weapons you want. False count anywhere. It's danger, baby, danger.
Well documented that surgically repaired neck of Chris Benoit. And Orton taking control. And Chris Benoit got him away. Knocked to the floor again.
Oh, no. Oh, now watch.
Oh, my. Randy Orton ripping up that mat, exposing that concrete.
Exactly what Orton's doing. This is all legal again. Just want to let you know that. No holds barred. What the hell is Orton going to do?
This is not good. Randy Orton exposing that concrete outside the ring here.
Oh, man.
The hell was Randy Orton having?
I don't like it. Come on, Randy, now.
Randy Orton is the legend killer, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, no. This is illegal. This match is illegal. He's going for a power driver.
And Chris Benoit, watch out! And a full drop on the concrete.
Right on the concrete spine first.
I believe Orton is going for a pile driver, which is outlawed in the WWE, but I guess in this matchup.
Yeah, I mean, the pile driver, famous by Paul Orndorff years back, and nasty hold, and Orton was trying to do it. Thank God for Benoit was able to counter out of it.
But exposing the concrete hurt Orton. It backfired. And now Benoit with a steel chair.
It's time to get even now, baby. Then watch out. Benoit's got steel chair in hand.
And look at the look in Benoit's eyes. Look at the look on Benoit's face. Steel chair in hand.
Oh, man, this is nasty.
Orton rolled out of the way. Benoit rolled that chair so hard into the concrete he had to drop it from the vibration.
Orton's running. And I kind of don't blame Orton right now.
Look at the chair. The chair bent. And look at Orton with the right hand. Watch out. German suplex. Arms wrapped. Hands clasped. Another good one. Benoit going for the hat trick.
He's going to get it.
Three Germans released on the third. And Chris Benoit suddenly exploding in this matchup.
No doubt about it. Benoit in tremendous condition. Look at the intensity of the rapid Wolverine.
And Benoit saying the party's over.
No holds barred might just be coming to an end. Could it be? Benoit's going to fly, Cole.
And Randy Orton, pulled the trash can lid onto his chest. And Benoit's skull into the trash can lid. What a counter by Orton.
How the hell? I didn't. Wow. That was impressive.
Randy Orton used the trash can lid as a shield. Benoit's skull, and look at the trash can lid. Look how it's bent.
I'm looking at Orton, Cole. Orton, I got a funny feeling Orton is perched and waiting. Is he thinking about that RKO? That's what I'm thinking.
Orton stalking his man.
The end is here.
Went for the RKO. Benoit! Lid off the skull! Hold on to this! For the crossface! The crossface! The crossface!
Holy smokes, right in the middle of the ring.
Yeah, and even before it gets into the ropes, you don't gotta break the hold. That's right! It's no hold forward! He's got a tap! And he tapped out! Benoit rolling toward the Rumble! What a match! Here's your winner, Chris Benoit!
Wow, what a damn match. Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, Chris Benoit was just about to be out. The lights are going to be out if that RKO was nailed by Orton. But he pulled up that trash can. But what kind of shape are either one of these two men for the Royal Rumble match in just 2 days?
Ladies and gentlemen, that right there is what Friday Night SmackDown is all about. The greatest athletes in the world, the greatest performances in the world. No holds barred. Orton and Benoit put it all on the line. And Chris Benoit building momentum to the Rumble.
And then you see this flying headbutt. And now this was more or less the beginning of the end for we thought of him out of nowhere. He pulls that. The trash can goes for the RKO. And watch this. Right across the head. The same gun he tried to get on Benoit. What? Orton did it himself. Here's the crossface. No shot in hell to get out of that. Orton had no choice but to tap.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 years ago, Chris Benoit entered the Royal Rumble matchup at number 1. He outlasted 29 other men. He was in the ring for over an hour. He won the matchup and went on to WrestleMania. After this performance tonight, you gotta believe Benoit is a true favorite come the Rumble match Sunday.
Don't count out all.
Yep. That was recap from Friday Night SmackDown. Friday, January 27, 2006. Night before Royal Rumble 2006. So let's get down with tonight's show. Terrible show. Okay, here we go. By the way, I just learned that I just got some news for all of you. Mentor to WWE Hall of Famer passes away. His name is Ken Wood, a longtime coach for the Cincinnati Bengals, and mentor to Brian Pillman passed away today at the age of 80. May God rest his soul. So let's get on with tonight's show. The show begins with Kenny Omega's music hits to kick things off, as commentary welcomes us to this week's Dynamite. Omega hits the ring as Rocky Romero is already in the ring. Kenny Omega versus Rocky Romero. The bell rings as Romero jumps on Omega, but Omega fights back, hitting Romero with punches, and then diving a back elbow. Romero hits the floor as Omega leaps over the ropes, landing on Romero on the floor. Omega hugs a fan at ringside. The action is back in the ring. Omega drops Romero and then kicks him in the ribs. Omega runs to the ropes looking for a big trigger, but Romero rolls out of the ring. Romero hits the ring and nails Kenny with elbow shots. Romero runs to the ropes and then drops Omega on his neck. Romero covers Omega, but it quickly kicks out. Romero nails Omega with a big forearm shot, so Omega fires back, dropping Romero. Omega is in a corner and nails Romero in the back of a hand as he was taunting the fans. Omega runs to the ropes and connects on Romero with a V trigger and then drops him with a one ring angel and covers Romero to pick up the win. Winner by pinfall, Kenny Omega. After the match, Tony Schiavone is in the ring talking to Omega. Tony congratulates Omega on the win. Omega is tied up to the rope for a top contender for the world title. Winner of Swerve versus Andrade faces Omega next week. Hangman is also a top. After the match, Tony Schiavone's in the ring to Omega. Tony start again. Yeah, after the match, Tony Schiavone's in the ring talking to Omega. Tony congratulates Omega on the win. Omega is tied to the top for the top contender for the world title. The winner of the Swerve versus Andrade faces Omega next week. Hangman Page is also a top contender. The winner of the top contenders match with the finals at Grand Slam Australia will face MJF at Revolution. Says he hates repeating himself, but he has not felt this good in years. AEW is supposed to be the place where the best wrestle. Omega says he claims for a shot at MJF's world title, whether it's someone like he likes or hates. It's just business, and where he will become the heavyweight champion of the world. The music of Hangman Adam Page hits as he makes his way to the ring with a mic in hand. Tony Schiavone leaves the ring. Page tells Omega he looks good. Page says that after all these years he would rather fight beside him than against him. But with the world title at stake, so be it. He says he thought about defending the world title against him, and because of Hook and MJF, he lost the title. Page says it's time it's different. Despite the fires and passion he has now, Omega won't be the next champion. Page says the next champion is going to him. Strickland's music hits, and he and Prince Nana make their way to the ring. Swerve says he came back to AEW for a world title, and he has not been defeated, and was not the one who got pinned at World's End. He has the right to the championship. Swerve says his mission remains the same. He will get the world championship, and he doesn't care who has to go through to get what he wants. He can't be against anybody as he looks Omega straight in the face. Omega tells Swerve he can read the room. He feels like there is animosity, and I'm looking for a fight. Swerve laughs and tells Omega more than he knows. Callis comes out to huge boos, and the more he talks, the louder the boos. Callis says that Andrade will pin Swerve and to say goodbye to the undisputed streak. Callis says when Andrade beats Swerve, he is coming for him. Callis says he has something special in mind for Page. Callis says his family runs Dynamite. Omega says to Dine maybe she should worry about himself, and leaves the ring running after Callis. We go to a visionary hyping up tonight's women's world title match with Chris Statlander defending against Thekla. Back in the arena, the music of Jon Moxley hits. He makes his way through the crowd to a Moxley chant. Moxley is alone as no other Death Riders are with him. Renee Paquette gives us her analysis of this matchup. The music of Ace Austin hits as he makes his way down to the ring. And Moxley is alone as no other Death Riser with him. Renee Paquette gives us her analysis of this matchup. The music of Ace Austin hits next as he makes his way out down to the ring. Continental Championship eliminator match: Jon Moxley versus Ace Austin. The bell rings as Mox nails Austin and drops him. Ace is up as Mox chops him and then connects with forearms. Ace fires back with forearms on Mox, but he nails Ace, who takes him down Mox and attempts to pin him, but Mox kicks out at 2. Both men exchange chops at the center of the ring. Ace kicks Mox. Kicks Mox in the face. Drop kick. I think I messed up something. Alright, let me start over again. Go to a Vision 8 hyping up tonight's women's world title match with Chris Statlander defending against Stickler. Back in the ring, the music of Jon Moxley hits as he makes his way through the crowd to a Moxley chant. Moxley is alone as no other than Death Riser with him. Renee Paquette gives us her analysis of this matchup. The music of Ace Austin hits next as he makes his way out down to the ring. Continental Championship eliminator match: Jon Moxley versus Ace Austin. The bell rings as Mox nails Ace and drops him. Ace is up as Mox chops him and then connects with forearms. Ace fires back and forearms on Mox, but he nails Ace, who then takes down Mox and attempts to pin him. But Mox kicks out at 2. Both men exchange chops in the center of the ring. Ace kicks Mox, but Mox fights back. Ace goes over the top rope, but lands on an apron. Ace comes in and drop kicks Mox, who goes to the floor. Ace connects with a kick on Mox in the face. Back from a break, Mox attempts to pin Ace, but he kicks out at 2. Mox puts Ace up on the rope, to the top rope. Mox digs his fingernails back into the back of Ace, and then suplexes him. Both are down as the ref starts at the 10 count. Mox is up, Ace is up. Mox connects with a forearm on Ace. Ace kicks Mox and lands him on with a big leg drop. Ace then hits Mox with a repeated short shots in his corner. Mox recovers and sends Ace down with a big clothesline. Mox rolls up Ace, but he kicks out. Both men try to pin each other. Mox nails Ace, but he came back with a spin kick on Mox, sending him down. Ace covers the champ. But he kicks out at 2. Mox exchange blows in the corner center of the ring. Mox connects and lefts and rights on Ace. Ace is up and connects with a spin on kick on Mox, dropping him to the mat. Ace covers Mox for a 2 count. Ace comes back connects Ace with a cutter and covers him and get the win. Continental Championship eliminator match: Jon Moxley versus Ace Austin. The bell rings as Mox nails Austin Ace and drops him. Ace is up as Mox chops him and then connects with forearms. Ace fires back with forearms on Mox, but he nails Ace, who then takes down Mox and attempts to pin him. But Mox kicks out at two. Both men exchange chops in the center of the ring. Ace kicks Mox, but Mox fights back. Ace goes over the top rope but lands on the apron. Ace comes in and drop kicks Mox, who goes for the floor. Ace connects with a kick to Mox in the face. Full ad break on HBO Max. Back from break, Mox attempts to pin Ace. He kicks out at two. Mox puts Ace up on the top rope. Mox digs his fingernails back into the Ace and then superplexes him. Both men are down as the ref starts the 10 count. Mox is up, Ace is up, Mox connects with a forearm on Ace. Ace kicks Mox and lands him with a big leg drop. Ace then hits Mox with a repeated shots in the corner. Mox recovers and sends Ace down with a big clothesline. Mox rolls up Ace, but he kicks out. Both men try to pin each other. Mox nails Ace, but he comes back with a big spin kick on Mox, sending him down. Ace covers the champ, but he kicks out at two. Mox and Ace exchange blows in the center of the ring. Mox connects with the lefts and rights on Ace. Ace is up and connects with a spin kick on Mox, dropping him to the mat. Ace covers Mox for a 2 count. Mox comes back and connects on Ace with a cutter and covers him to get the win. Win by pinfall, Jon Moxley. After the match, Kino Suzuki counts Suzuki Takashita's music hits as he makes his way to the ring, confronting Jon Moxley. Both men jaw at each other. Takashita signals he wants a title shot. From behind, Mark Davis and Jake Doyle attack Moxley, taking him out. Back from break. The music of El Klein hits as he makes his way out down to the ring, with Don Callis, who will be on commentary for this match. Reach for the sky, boy. The music of Briscoe boy, Mark Briscoe, hits as he makes his way out and down to the ring. AEW TNT Championship match. Mark Briscoe defends against Don Callis' Elm family's El Klein. The bell rings are underway. Both men lock up in the center of the ring. Klein puts a headlock on Mark, who breaks the hold. Both men run to the ropes. As Klein takes down Briscoe with a big elbow and covers him for only 1 count. Klein shots Briscoe in the corner. Klein tosses Briscoe to the corner, who comes back with a redneck kung fu. The action goes to the floor as Briscoe takes down Klein. Briscoe grabs a chair from under the ring and sets it up. Klein comes to the ring and attempts to use the chair, but Briscoe ducks it. Briscoe comes back and sends Klein down for the lariat. Klein goes to the floor and then is taken down with a scissor through the ropes. Briscoe sends Klein down onto the outside. Briscoe gets caught in the apron, which allows Klein to kick him in the head. Briscoe goes down to the floor. Klein kicks Briscoe in the head as he attempts to get to his feet. Back from break, Klein sends Briscoe to the corner and kicks him in the head. Klein grabs Briscoe and sends him down and then connects with a moonsault and covers him for only a 2 count. Klein grabs Briscoe, but he fights back, sending Klein to the floor. Mark runs to the ropes, leaping. Back from break, Klein sends Briscoe to the corner and kicks him in the head. Sorry to start over again. As I was saying, back from break, Klein sends Briscoe to the corner and kicks him in the head. Klein grabs Briscoe and sends him down and connects with a moonsault and covers him for only a 2 count. Klein grabs Briscoe, but he fights back, sending Klein to the floor. Mark runs the ropes and leaps over the top rope, landing on Klein, taking him down. Klein's back in the ring. Briscoe runs the ropes, but is met with a big boot to the face by Klein. Briscoe fires back with big jabs to the face of Klein. Briscoe is then staggered by with a big kick by Klein. Both men are watered down. Klein and Briscoe get back to their feet and exchange forearms to shot in the center of the ring. Briscoe then picks up Klein and suplexes him. Briscoe then connects on Klein with a lariat of drops. Klein with a big slam. Mark comes up off the top with a big rope with a big froggy bow. Mark Briscoe makes the cover, but Klein kicks out at 2. Briscoe picks up Klein and drops him with a Dre driller, but it has no effect. Klein comes back and kicks Briscoe. Klein goes to the top rope, but stomps on Briscoe and Ben picks up, but Briscoe fights it out and hit. Klein hoists up Briscoe and counters and rolls up Klein with a pin to retain. Winner by pinfall, still TNT champion Mark Briscoe. After the match, Briscoe says, "Hell yeah." Briscoe says that he says from the beginning it doesn't duck or dodge that he'll be back in Texas at Saturday night. He loves the concept of TNT Open Challenge, but nobody from Don Callis family because he is tired of them. The lights go out. We see a heartbeat from on Big's ring. The lights go out again as Tommaso Ciampa. He'll be challenging Mark Briscoe on Saturday. Ciampa walks out to a huge ovation as Briscoe looks concerned. Ciampa runs to the ring to a huge ovation. Continues. Ciampa's centers the ring as we get a holy shit chant. Ciampa tells Bruce he's coming for him on Saturday. He kisses Mark and walks out of the ring. Ciampa hops on the announce table and looks at Briscoe, signaling his time is coming. Ciampa leaves for the back and he's waving at Briscoe. We're to commercial break. Back from break, Renee Paquette is backstage and welcomes Kyle, Fletcher, and Okada. Okada says when it came to the Screwdriver at World's End, he was not thinking. He says he wanted to face Fletcher in the finals. He did not mean to hurt him. He says he is sorry. Fletcher says he accepts his apology, and they shake hands. AEW World Champion Moran Jackass Freeman to appear. The music of Moran Jackass Freeman hits as the AEW World Champion makes his way out to the ring with a mic in hand. Moran Jackass Freeman hits the ring and says for hits the music to be cut. Moran Jackass Freeman asks Taz why they have to work in such a dump like this. Moran Jackass Freeman says when he speaks, the people listen. The music of Brody King hits as Moran Jackass Freeman calls for Brody's music to be cut. He insults Brody's ears and calls him stupid. Brody gets in the ring. MJF asks him if they are going to be professional and speak like men. The fans chant Brody as Moran Jackass Freeman calls him Bark Boy. Moran Jackass Freeman says Brody needs to beat someone. Moran Jackass Freeman brings up Malachi Black or how he fouled him around the ring. And it was spooky on how they turn light off, on and off. Moran Jackass Freeman says he followed Buddy Matthews and asked King how Buddy's ankle's doing. Moran Jackass Freeman says he followed like a loser in Bandito. Moran Jackass Freeman then offers King to follow him around and he'll pay him. Moran Jackass Freeman then calls King and liberal. It looks like a Nazi, and Moran Jackass Freeman says King's beating for the world title is just a dream in order to be the champion of the world. MJF tells King he needs to be a leader like him, and that he's nothing more than a follower. Brody tells Moran Jackass Freeman he doesn't need any to follow anyone. He has friends unlike MJF. King then says he's not beating anyone credible enough to challenge Moran Jackass Freeman. King says he spoke with Tony Khan, and next week he has an eliminator match. Moran Jackass against Moran Jackass Freeman next week, and then he wins. He will get a title shot at Grand Strand, Australia. Moran Jackass Freeman looks concerned as Brody leaves the ring, high-fiving the fans. Go to a vision featuring the Young Bucks, who talk about it being time to go back to their roots. They put their tag team division on notice and says it starts in Las Vegas. Back in the ring, it's time for the AEW Women's World Championship. The music of Thekla hits as the Toxic Spider mixers were way out on the ring on stage area. The Sisters of Sin stand with her as Thekla walks on to the ring alone. Up next, the music of Chris Statlander. Chris Statlander. The champion makes her way down the ring. Music AEW Women's World Championship match. Chris Statlander defends against Thekla. The bell rings and we're underway. Thekla puts on her hand for a handshake. Thekla pulls it away as Statlander nails Thekla with a big handed open strike. Thekla leaves the ring before going back in the ring. Thekla wraps herself around the ropes as Chris drops Thekla on the apron as she hits the floor. Chris grabs Thekla and holds her up for several seconds upside down, and then drops her with a vertical suplex on the floor. Chris goes in the ring to break the 10 count, then comes back out and sends Thekla face first into the steel steps. Chris rolls Thekla back in the ring as Chris poses Thekla and nails her in a draw with a big kick. Chris Statlander rolls to the floor as Thekla comes off the apron, stomping on the back of the champion. Full ad break on HBO Max. Back from break, Thekla is on top rope as Chris ties up Statlander, but she is caught and whipped in the face first on top turnbuckle pad. Statlander sends Thekla into the corner and connects with a knee to the side of her head. Thekla covers for the champ for only a 2 count. Thekla connects with a big boot on the side of head of Statlander. Thekla comes off the top but is kicked by Statlander. Both women are up on top. Thekla hits Statlander in the jaw and drops her with a spider suplex. Statlander rolls to the outside as Thekla comes off the top with a big crossbody on the floor. Statlander is rolled back in the ring. Thekla covers her for only a 2 count. Thekla spears Statlander. Both women are down. Champ challenger batted out in the center of the ring. Thekla locks up Statlander in the center of the ring. Then wrenches the arm of the champ, then stomps on her arm. Thekla covers Statlander for only a 2 count. Lita goes for a spear but is then caught with a thrust kick. Statlander picks up Thekla for the powerbomb, then picks her up for the Saturday Night Fever, and covers her for the pin to retain. Winner and still AEW Women's Champion Chris Statlander. After the match, the Women's World Tag Team Champions come down to celebrate with Statlander. Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford look on from stage ring at entrance arena. We go back to what commentary calls Don Callis' strategy session with Don Callis, Kazuchika Takeshita, and Kyle Fletcher. Callis tells Takeshita he needs to take Fletcher's lead to forgive Okada. Takeshita asks Fletcher if Okada forgave Okada. Asks Fletcher if he forgave Okada, and then walks off. Then go to commercial break. Back from break, we got Vision featuring Jack Perry as the next challenger to Ricochet for the national title. We go to an early today with the man as they have Jack Perry tied up. He tries to escape, but GOA take him out as Ricochet tells GOA to go get him. After tossing down, they drop him into a table that breaks. Next up, the music of Mike Davis and Jake Doyle as they make their way to the ring. Heel versus heel, 2 heels face to face. The music of FTR hits next as the Chad Champs with Stokely in a wheelchair to make their down to the ring. Stokely's on commentary for this match. AEW World Tag Team Championship match: FTR, Dax Harwood, and Clash Royale defense against Don Callis' family, Jake Doyle and Mark Davis. The bell ring. Here we go. AEW World Tag Team Championship match: FTR defends against Don Callis' family, Jake Doyle and Mark Davis. Bell rings as Dox flips off the fans. Dak, Cash, and Jake start things off. Both men lock up. Cash runs the ropes, but Doyle sends him down with a big body block. Cash gets up. He gets more body blocks. Davis is tagged in, and they double team Cash. Cash backs up Davis to the opposite corner as FTR double teams Davis. Dax is tagged in, but he chops Dax, sending him down to the mat. Dax is up as he and Davis exchange chops. Davis and Doyle are on the outside. Dax runs the ropes, leaping through the second rope. He is caught by Davis and Doyle and then tossed down hard. The bell ring, at the back from break, Davis and Dax are in the center of the ring and exchanging chops. Dax has a bloody chest from the chops. Davis drops Dax with a big lariat. Cash comes in with a cutter on Doyle, but it has no effect. Doyle splashes at the FTR in the center of the corner. Davis follows up with a splash of his own. Doyle and Dax are on the rope, are on the top rope. Cash comes up as he and Doyle take out each other. Davis suplexes Dax. Cash comes off the top rope. Landing on Davis, Dax covers Davis, but he kicks out at 2. Doyle is still out on the floor, so Davis sends Cash to the floor. Then puts a sleeper on Dax. He tries to fight out of it. Cash is back up on the apron as the ref is distracted. Mox comes from the crowd, and Davis is in the head in the Continental title belt. Davis is dropped with a stare at a machine. Dax covered Davis to get the ring to retain. Stupid finish. This was a great matchup until that dumb ending. Winners and still AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR. We go backstage with Renee Paquette talking to Orange Cassidy and his focus on Wheeler Yuta. Cassidy questions who Yuta is now compared to 5 years ago. Yuta comes in to interrupt Cassidy. Marina Shafir comes in and grabs Orange by the hair. Tony Storm comes in and gets in the face of Marina, who tells Tony she will take out her girlfriend, who will get Storm mad. Security then comes in to break things up. Commercial break. Back from break, the music goes Swerve Strickland hits as he makes his way out to the ring with Prince Nana. Next up is the music of Andrade El Idolo. He makes his way out down the ring as Don Callis to boos. Callis shakes his hand of Andrade as Callis makes his way to the commentary table. Strickland versus Andrade El Idolo. We get a Swerve's house chant as both men lock up in the center of the ring. Andrade put a headlock on Swerve, who breaks the hold. Swerve is sent down. Swerve and Andrade get into a shoving match. Andrade then takes Swerve down, but he is quick to get up. Andrade avoids a house call from Swerve. The fans chant a big AEW chant as we go for a test of strength as Andrade chops Swerve, who tosses Andrade into the corner. Andrade mocks Swerve. Both men are on the rope as Swerve sends Andrade to the floor as Swerve leaps over the top ropes as Andrade moves and sends Swerve into the Brazil steps. He grabs a phone from a female fan at ringside and takes a selfie. It looks like he enters his number in the phone, and then reaches for her shirt, Briar, and pulls out a note, handing it to Andrade. The female fan looks to be the same woman from last Saturday's collision that Andrade interacted with. Full ad break on HBO Max. Back from the break, Andrade sends Swerve back to the floor. Andrade tosses Swerve back in the ring and he comes off landing on his feet. Then connecting with a moonsault on Swerve. Andrade covers Swerve for a 2 count. Andrade connects with a high boot on Swerve, sending him to the floor. Swerve is back up, nailing Andrade drops him with a Death Valley driver on the apron, sending Andrade to the floor. Swerve rolls back into the ring and hesitates, pulls him out. Swerve sets up Andrade and back on the barricade. Andrade swerves hold and sends him back on the barricade. Swerve falls to the floor. Both men are down as the referee begins the 10 count. Both men make it back into the ring at 9. Both men go back and forth with elbow shots. Andrade tries for a DM, but Swerve blocks it. Andrade takes down Swerve with a big elbow. Andrade covers Swerve for only 2 count. Swerve then runs at Andrade, connecting with a huge kick to the face of Andrade. Swerve covers Andrade, but he kicks out at 2. Both men are up on top rope. Andrade cuts Swerve down. Andrade connects with a huge knees to the face of Swerve and covers him for only 2 count. Andrade then picks up Swerve and drops him down hard on the mat and then covers him, but Swerve kicks out again. Swerve comes back with a house call. Andrade grabs the wrist of the referee and then low blows Swerve with a kick that ref doesn't see. And Andrade hits him with a DM and Swerve and kicks covers him and then to get the win. We go to backstage with Renee Paquette asking Warren Jacket Freeman how he feels about facing Brody King in an eliminator match. Kenny Omega comes in and he's just a win away from facing him for a title. Omega goes to shake his hand. He walks up. Andrade stops him and tells him he wants the title. Warren Jacket Freeman leaves the building and he goes to get in the vehicle, but is confronted by Hangman Page. Warren Jacket Freeman gets in the car and tells the driver to go, as Page has a serious look on his face. The show goes off the air. Well, that was that was stupid booking for the finish on the World Tag Team Title match. The match was great up till that really dumb finish. I wasn't really excited about the Swerve and Andrade match, but I was glad Andrade had to see go. I was glad to see Andrade go over and the fans do his chant name. Somehow they're gonna put him as a babyface run. If it's booked correctly, he would babyface in AEW, but I don't think AEW might keep this up. But tonight was stupid, very stupid. So that's my little review for tonight. I know it's time for my wrestling history and birthdays. Let's go to yesterday, January 27th. Okay, yesterday was a happy 60th birthday to Hay Sachs Calhoun Jr. He went 60. He turned 60 yesterday. Yesterday was a happy 46th birthday to Hughie Hino. Let's see what else. Cuban Assassin #1. Angel Avocado turns 80 turns 81 yesterday. Let's see what else. Okay, on WCW Pro, Giant Be Bad defeated Giant Swinger. The Shark, aka Earthquake, and Avalanche defeated Jobber Eddie Jackie. WCW Pro, by the way. I think let's see on WWF Superstars. Bradshaw made his JBL made his WWE debut, defeating as Bob defeating Bob Holly, known as Hardcore Holly, Sparky Plug, as Justin Hart Bradshaw. So he was called JBL and be played with Bradshaw. The APA with his tag team partner Farouk Ron Simmons. Jumpster defeated Robert Steve Rizzono. Triple H defeated Tom Patterson by DQ. Performance owner must be Pat Patterson's son. And HBK Shawn Michaels defeated the Native American Tatanka. Now WCW Saturday night. Diamond Dallas Page, WCW Saturday night, January 27, 1996. Diamond Dallas Page defeated Steve Armstrong. Lord Steven Regal fight Dusty Wolf to a contest. WCW TV champ Johnny B. Bad defeated Ming to retain the title. WCW Tag Team champ Sting and Lex Luger defeated Barry Brothers. Joey Mash defeated VK Wall Street by DQ. And Giant defeated Bitch Long and Buck Corman in a handicap match. Ric Flair defeated Alex Wright. Harlem Heat defeated American Males. Sunday Night Heat. On Heat, Trevor Murray defeats Romeo. Trevor Guerrero defeats Jason Jones. Val Venis and Viscera defeat Gene Sinsky and Tyson Tonko. Then on Friday Night SmackDown for leading up before 2000 Royal Rumble 2006. Mark Henry with Daivari defeated Rey Mysterio, the Mexican Psychosis, who crazy defeated Nunzio and Vito the Dicks in a Royal Rumble qualifying a triple threat tag team match. Chris Benoit defeated Randy Orton in no holds barred match. Funaki defeated Finlay by DQ. JBL with Jalen Hall versus Sky Too High ended in no contest. Kurt Angle defeated Eminem in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Then come a couple movies released in theaters in January 27, 2006. Indianapolis starring James Franco, Tyson, Tyrese Gibson, Jordan Brewster, Donnie Wahlberg, Zachary Ty Bryan was from Home Improvement was in that movie. Chi McBride. It was directed by Justin Lin, who directed the Fast and Furious movies. Who directed Star Trek Beyond, Annapolis. And Big Mama's House 2 starring Martin Lawrence reprised role sequel to 2000's. 2000's Big Mama's House was released. And Nanny McPhee, starring Emma Thompson and Colin Firth, was released in theaters. Let's see. 2016, January 27, 2016. American Alpha Chad Gable and Jason Jordan defeated Bate and Murphy with Alexa Bliss. Now Mahal Jackson with Eva Marie defeated Liv Morgan. Alex Ryder defeated Bull Dempsey. Elias Simpson defeated John Skyler. Sami Zayn versus Mojo versus Baron Corbin ended no contest and number one contenders triple threat match. Now we go to today, January 28th. On this day in 2006, we lost a wrestler named Black Cat. Yeah, he was Victor Manuel. Died of heart failure. He's a Chino mixed with Hispanic. He was like a mixed with Chinese and Hispanic. Yeah, Black Cat. He died on January 20th, 2006 of heart failure. May rest in peace. 20 years ago today. Shark Boy. Dean Roll, better known as Ring Shark Boy. He turns 51 today. Sheamus turns 48 today. Sheamus, Irish wrestler Sheamus. Canadian wrestler Casey Diamond turns 46 today. Alicia turns 38 today. 39 today. And French lawyer Jacob Grove, better known as renamed Hans Mortier, he would have been 102 today. He was born. He died on December 15, 2010. He was born on January 28, 1924. Let's see what else. Oh, a little bit of wrestling history from yesterday. The Primetime Wrestling, January 27, 1986. Mr. Fuji Pen's Special Delivery Joan. They're showing highlights of everything. Hosted by Gorilla Monsoon and Bobby the Brain Heenan. On this day in 1996, let's see. On this day in 1996 on WWE Action Zone, just showing highlights of everything, Royal Rumble and everything. Now WCW Worldwide, Sunday, Meng defeated Rick Valentino, Mr. JL defeated Disco Inferno, Kevin Stone defeated Chuck Williams, Sting defeated The Gambler, WCW US Champion 1 Man defeated Bobby Starr Jobber, and Nasty Boys defeated Men at Work. And on this day in 1996, the Dallas Cowboys defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers, my friend of mine's team, 27-17. That's Super Bowl. Super Bowl 30. we had a friend of mine, who was a Pittsburgh native, wasn't happy his team didn't win the Super Bowl against the Dallas Cowboys. Took place at the Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. On this day in 2006, on WWE Velocity, Bobby Lashley defeats Brad Attitude, Gemini, Jake and Jesse defeat Jason Jones and Ken Moore. Kid Cash and Jamie Noble defeat Paul London and Brian Kendrick. Then on Impact, Jeff Jarrett with Gail Kim defeat Jay Lethal. Team 3 defeated Kenny King and Belt Quartermain. And Samoa Joe defeated Matt Bentley with Tracy, who was X Division champion. There was a no contest between Abyss and Rhino. Then we see Sting telling everyone, thank you. He's telling everyone goodbye, and all that stuff. And then what else? See what else? On this day in SmackDown 2016, the Usos with Dolph Ziggler and Tyson defeated the New Day. Big E, Xavier Woods and The Miz. Kalisto defeated Neville, retained the U.S. title. AJ Styles defeated Curtis Axel. Charlotte defeated and tied by submission Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, and Roman Reigns defeated the Wyatt family. And the opening of SmackDown turned Uso crazy. There's a highlight reel with Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Yeah. And then on this day in 1986, and today's the 40th anniversary of the Space Shuttle Challenger disaster. One of the most tragic moments in 1986. in one of the tragic moments in 1986. And that's it. That's it for all of you. I'm the Godfather, Soldiers and Slimming. Hope I have a good night. And hope all of you have a good night. And I'm gonna close out something for all of you tonight. I'm gonna close out with this terrible Godfather Soldier says late Chad Henshaw said just have Chad Checker dance like Lionel, dance like James Brown. About to get in a hot tub, gonna be sweat, gonna be dry, gonna be wet. Referring to Eddie Murphy doing a president impression of James Brown on Saturday Night back in the years. I never grew up in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. But so I hope I have a good night. Now I got something to close out for all of you tonight. I'm gonna close out with one of the most biggest tragedies in history, with the space shuttle Challenger disaster. One of the really saddest things in history. So hope I have a good night. So here it is, close out the show with this tragedy. The space shuttle tragedy that happened on this day, on January 28, 1986. It was a special report taken from the station on KMBC in Los Angeles, channel 4. So hope I have a good night. I'm out of here. Peace.
This is a special report from Channel 4 News. Good morning, I'm Ken Shocknick, and Space Shuttle Challenger is just a few seconds away from blasting off from the Kennedy Space Center near Cape Canaveral, Florida. Let's take a look right now. Challenger finally getting ready to leave KSC. Its launch delayed a couple of times because of weather and mechanical problems.
T-minus 15 seconds.
The voice of launch control, Hugh Harris of NASA.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff.
Solid rocket boosters kicking in.
The space shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Challenger going into its roll. That's planned. Watch it spiral away from Pad 39B, the first use of Pad 39B since the old Apollo days and the Skylab missions. It's chilly in Florida. Icicles formed on the pad overnight. NASA engineers were concerned that they might have broken off during the launch and affected the fragile heat protection tiles that protect the shuttle on its way back in during re-entry.
We'll throttle down to 65% shortly.
Don't know what the effect might be just yet. The astronauts will take a look later on during the mission.
Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs.
APUs, the auxiliary power units.
2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles, downrange distance 3 nautical miles.
It's always amazing to hear how quickly the shuttle moves. It's already more than 4 miles downwind, as we just
Engines
heard.
throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Challenger, go to throttle up.
The shuttle mission will launch, my God,
1 minute 15
there's been an explosion.
Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles, downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
This is not standard. This is not something that is planned, of course. I can see a solid rocket booster has broken away from Shuttle Challenger. That's what you're looking at in the middle of your screen. I cannot see the shuttle itself. I don't know if it's able to continue on one rocket booster. If it's able to jettison that rocket booster, it will be able to return to the Kennedy Space Center. Perhaps. The shuttle engines are not enough to power the shuttle back down. It would have to shut down.
Looking very carefully at the situation. obviously a major malfunction.
I hope they were able to survive. I hope the astronauts
We have no
on board.
downlink.
We have absolutely no sign at all of the shuttle itself. All we saw was that one explosion only about a minute into the flight, and we saw the solid rocket booster. Now here's something coming down. I don't know what that is. I don't think that that's the shuttle. I believe that's a piece of debris that's coming back earthbound. I don't know. It's too small for the shuttle itself. Pieces falling out of the sky in the Florida morning. It's about 20 till noon in Florida. There are contingency plans for the shuttle when something does go wrong, when something goes terribly wrong.
We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded. Flight director confirms that. We are looking at checking with the recovery forces to see what can be done at this point.
8:40, and we hear from launch control, the vehicle has exploded. That's the orbiter itself, the shuttle Challenger, has exploded. We
Contingency procedures are in effect.
Assume that the crew is not alive.
We will report more as we have information available.
This is unheralded in the history of the space program. Ladies and gentlemen, I have covered the space shuttle launches since the very first launch, since before the first launch itself, going way back, and nothing like this has ever happened. Of course, there was the Apollo fire on the ground at the Kennedy Space Center, the Apollo 1 fire that killed 3 astronauts during a test run back in the 60s, but the shuttle program itself, to this time, has been untouched by any human problems, no human injuries, no human deaths. What we know is that around 8:40 this morning, as you were just watching those pictures, Space Shuttle Challenger exploded as it roared away from pad 39 at the Kennedy Space Center near Cape Canaveral in Florida. And these are the pictures seconds before the shuttle itself exploded. And we did see those pictures of the solid rocket booster. It would have been the left-hand booster, I believe, as it seemed to tear away from the shuttle itself. I don't know if that tore away before or after the blast, if that caused the blast. But of course, with all that liquid nitrogen and liquid hydrogen in the shuttle's big external tank, hundreds of thousands of gallons of it, the shuttle is literally a flying bomb.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd planned to speak to you tonight to report on the State of the Union. But the events of earlier today have led me to change those plans. Today is a day for mourning and remembering. Nancy and I are pained to the core by the tragedy of the Shuttle Challenger. We know we share this pain with all of the people of our country. This is truly a national loss. 19 years ago, almost to the day, we lost 3 astronauts in a terrible accident on the ground. But we've never lost an astronaut in flight. We've never had a tragedy like this. And perhaps we've forgotten the courage it took for the crew of the shuttle. But they, the Challenger 7, were aware of the dangers, but overcame them and did their jobs brilliantly. We mourn 7 heroes: Michael Smith, Dick Scobie, Judith Resnick, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista McCullough. We mourn their loss as a nation together. To the families of the 7, we cannot bear, as you do, the full impact of this tragedy. But we feel the loss, and we're thinking about you so very much. Your loved ones were daring and brave, and they had that special grace, that special spirit that says, give me a challenge, and I'll meet it with joy. They had a hunger to explore the universe and discover its truths. They wished to serve, and they did. They served all of us. We've grown used to wonders in this century. It's hard to dazzle us. But for 25 years, the United States space program has been doing just that. We've grown used to the idea of space, and perhaps we forget that we've only just begun. We're still pioneers. They, the members of the Challenger crew, were pioneers. And I want to say something to the school children of America who were watching the live coverage of the shuttle's takeoff. I know it's hard to understand, but painful things like this happen. It's all part of the process of exploration and discovery. It's all part of taking a chance and expanding man's horizons. The future doesn't belong to the faint-hearted. It belongs to the brave. The Challenger crew is pulling us into the future, and we'll continue to follow them. I've always had great faith in and respect for our space program, and what happened today does nothing to diminish it. We don't hide our space program. We don't keep secrets and cover things up. We do it all up front and in public. That's the way freedom is, and we wouldn't change it for a minute. We'll continue our quest in space. There will be more shuttle flights and more shuttle crews, and yes, more volunteers, more civilians, more teachers in space. Nothing ends here. Our hopes and our journeys continue. I want to add that I wish I could talk to every man and woman who works for NASA or who worked on this mission and tell them your dedication and professionalism have moved and impressed us for decades, and we know of your anguish. We share it. There's a coincidence today. On this day 390 years ago, the great explorer Sir Francis Drake died aboard ship off the coast of Panama. In his lifetime, the great frontiers were the oceans, and a historian later said he lived by the sea, died on it, and was buried in it. Well, today, we can say of the Challenger crew, their dedication was, like Drake's, complete. The crew of the Space Shuttle Challenger honored us for the manner in which they lived their lives. We will never forget them, nor the last time we saw them, this morning, as they prepared for their journey and waved goodbye and slipped the surly bonds of earth to touch the face of God.